thanks for joining us this morning. We're here, of course, with WRHQ 105.3 FM. I'm sure you know it well, being a Savannah native. It's
Yeah,
Savannah's only locally owned radio station. Um, uh, have you ever been on the station before? Or is this your first time?
yeah, yeah. They've given me some spins on the local show.
Very cool. Like
Yeah.
nothing, never to do an interview or anything like that, though.
No, huh? No, not like this.
Okay, all right. How has it been growing up in Savannah?
Oh, I love it. I'm fortunate enough to, you know, get out on the water a lot, and I think that's important. Uh, that's an important experience to be had in Savannah. There's downtown and there's shopping and everything on the south side too, and all that good stuff. Beautiful Victorian and Midtown, Starland District, all that. But it's also good to get out on the water, out in the river.
I mean, it's come a long way since I mean, you grew up here, right? So I'm sure
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It has changed a
things
lot.
over the years have. I mean, I've lived here for 15 years and things have changed quite a bit. So I'm sure
Right.
it's been an even bigger change for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. There's been a lot of changes. I remember when there were half of Broughton Street had plywood in the windows. So for instance, so it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot. It's in a good way, I think so. It's come around, and uh, there's been some improvements. So I like
About
it.
the Savannah music scene, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, yeah. The music scene, well, just places to play. There's more venues, and it used to be like only two or three, and now there's dozens of places to play all over Savannah. So the whole food and beverage and live music thing is expanded exponentially. Uh, it's very nice, and it's great to have so many venues to get out and do your thing. So I do like that. You can play. There's places at the beach, and there's places on the islands, and certainly places in downtown and the Starland district and Midtowns, and it's all over the place. So,
Well, listen, I mean, you've been playing since you were 6 years old. Is that right?
yeah, yeah. I've been in bars since I was six. I'm just kidding. I did start playing for like a Christmas party. My parents gave me, let me borrow my dad's acoustic, and I played some Christmas songs when I was in my first grade class. I've got a picture of that. Somebody took a picture of it and gave it to me. Years and years later, when I was in my 20s, I couldn't believe it. So my first gig was captured. It was me and some other little girl, and I don't know her name. I forgot it, but I'm sure I could find out somehow. But yeah, and then after that, I started playing. In high school, I got back into it, and loved playing. As soon as I got home, um, moved out of the house, started. We're doing work downtown, and same thing. I couldn't wait to get home and play. Uh, After my construction job, and then found myself on stage after a few years, and the rest is history. I started touring. I got an album deal with King Snake Records and cut a couple albums with them, and traveled all over the place, all the way up to Maine, to Key West, Chicago, New York, all that stuff. Uh, and really started doing that after a while. I think I put like 3 million miles on the road in 30 years. So pretty good, hefty amount of driving. Spent a lot of time in a van
I
with
know
other with
I
two
know
other
that van
guys.
life well. I know that well. Um,
Yeah,
so you were saying your parents were musicians as well, is that right?
Dad had a guitar. He played, and I wasn't supposed to play it, so I never. I would always have to sneak in and get it while they were at work during the summertime. When I wasn't in school, but I wasn't allowed to touch the go into the parents' room, but I did, and I used to take it, and I would take the spindle out of my record player, and I would lay the body of it on there, and I'd put the record player in between speeds so that the needle was hot, but the table wasn't turning. And I'd lay it on there, and I'd put a towel on a chair, and I'd lay the neck of the guitar on the chair, and I'd bend the arm of the needle into the top of the guitar and stick it into the wood, and I'd play it, and it would go through the needle and out the speakers. So I had basically an electric guitar. But I had to do that every time I snuck it out of my dad's room. I had to stick the needle back into the same hole, or else I'd get busted. And so, you know, years went by, and I had an electric guitar, and I'd moved out of the house, and I did an interview for a magazine, and I sent them some copies, and I forgot that that was in the interview. And I'd never told my dad. My dad was always asking me, "Son, what's that hole right there?" And I'd lie my brains out. I don't know what it is. And so yeah, fast forward, 10 years, and I'm sending him an interview in a magazine, and he reads it. And I called him 3 days later. I said, "Hey, did you get that magazine?" "Yeah." "Did you read it?" "Yeah." And I was cringing, because this is the first time he'd actually heard the truth of where that tiny little needle hole came from in his guitar. And he didn't get mad. He said, "I love you, son." And everything was after that was good. But that's how bad I wanted to play guitar. That's how bad I wanted an electric guitar. And and I finally got one. But yeah, I was trying to do the construction thing and then play at night in my early 20s, and it didn't work out too good because I was only getting about 3 hours of sleep. So I fall asleep in the porta-john one time and at work, and they let me go. They fired me. And I was like, that was the only time I ever got fired from a job, really. And so then I started playing music at night, and like I say, the rest is history. So,
when did you end up getting your first guitar? Do you know? Do you remember?
my parents bought me one when I was probably 13. It was an electric guitar, but they didn't buy an amp, so they were smart.
Is that kind of when they recognized your talent? Is that like when they were like, "Hey,
I don't,
you think you kind
I
of
don't think anybody recognized anything. I didn't recognize anything. I just wanted to play. That's all. That's my sister. One of my sisters was a guitar player, and she played a lot downtown. And one of my one of my brother, one of my brothers played harmonica, and another brother played in a band here in town, the JoJo band, and they're pretty big in the 70s, I guess. They were, he's had some other. Everybody in my family's musically inclined, put it that way. So they either sing or dance or play something. So yeah, I grew up in a cool environment as far as music goes.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm big on creativity, so do
Yeah.
you find I mean, does that still to this day creep in when you're, creating songs or writing songs or creating, your chords or music or whatever? Does all of that still kind of creep into that?
Like where I came from,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, of course. Um, yeah, it definitely. I feel. Put it this way, I feel right at home playing guitar. So, yeah, no matter where I'm at, I feel good about it. So, and you know, uh, this thing that we're doing this Friday, the Three Kings. I think it's the fourth year in a row. Um, has been just such a wonderful experience for me because I've got Tony Coleman coming in from Seattle, Washington, BB King's drummer for the past 30 years. He's played with everybody, that you can think of as well. and Bob Wilson coming in from I think he's coming in out of Florida, and he recorded Nashville Skyline with Bob Dylan, and Lay Lady Lay, Lay Lady Lay. He's the guy playing the keyboards in the background, and he's in the Country Music Hall of Fame. He's played with Earl Scruggs and Charlie Daniels and a whole list of others. J.J. Cale, Freddie King is his connection to this show. He toured with Freddie King in the 70s, and been all over the place, done everything. So I've got those two guys coming in, and then I've got three fellows from Atlanta coming in and play the horns. Trent, Justin, and Malik. They're getting their masters in music up at Georgia State. And then I've got Kevin Rose from right here in Savannah, and my other two guys, Eric Moore on bass, Kevin Rose on guitar, and Dominique Harris on the drums. So we're going to have two drums like we did the last three concerts, which is kind of like an old James Brown thing, and really, really adds a lot of energy to the show. I love it. But yeah, to get back what I was saying, I always remember where I came from, and I always think about everything that is led up to my current, affairs, and it makes me feel really good and very thankful that I can do what I'm doing and not have to be forced to do something else. And I've played music for a living for 30 years now, so that's a blessing to me. And now I've met all kind of people, all kind of wonderful people, because I play music. It has brought me to such a great host of people in my life, and this show is definitely one of those examples. These guys are really good, and we have a good time, and it's cool that everybody just comes together from far away. We rehearse one time the day before the show. Everybody's been doing their homework, and we rehearse one time before the show on Thursday, and then Friday, we come out guns a blazing, and it's always a good time, man. I love it. Looking forward to it.
That's fantastic. How did you come up with the name Three Kings? Where does that come from?
I just thought it up. I know that during my growing up and listening to blues, stuff like that, there was always a reference to the Three Kings. So it's maybe it's a play on the three wise men from the Bible or whatever. I don't know, but I call it the Blues Trilogy. So and that's kind of just where it came from. It hit me one day. It's like, I love all this music, everything. Each one of the guys, B.B. King, Freddie King, and Albert King, they had their own definite style and contribution to the blues. And, B.B. brought a lot of class to the blues, and with that respect. And Albert King, man, he was just I always compare him to a rusty butcher knife. He's like brutal, I saw him live twice, and it gave me goosebumps the whole time. And then Freddie King, I never did get to see, but Freddy really brought his own element to the blues as well. He brought funk, like he's very funky, and we're going to do a lot of his funky stuff. Kind of breaks the mold where everybody says, "Oh, you play blues," and it's like lumpty dumpty, lumpty dumpty. That's not the case. That's not what blues is to me. That's not what the blues is to the world. We're going to bring some fire, every time we do it. But this weekend we've got a really, really great 19 songs to play for you, and it's going to be on fire, man. We're looking forward to it. It's going to cover a lot of different types of blues as well. So.
That's terrific. And are you touring with this group, or this is just a one-time Savannah event?
No, we have thought about taking it, to other places. But right now we're just doing it in Savannah. We're happy with that. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know, I have to come up with the material. I have to come up with all the travel plans. I have to take care of that. Hotels, airplane tickets, um, rehearsals here in town with my guys. Rehearsal space, which is provided by Victory North on the day before. I'm in contact and work with the artists for every year. Has a poster and a different image, all original. Um, I do get all the sponsorship. I'll go out and work all that. And I only get sponsorship from locally owned and operated businesses. So I think that's important. And, I want, I just love the community and that I live in. And we always get support from sponsors. We always get help from people like yourself. And looking forward to actually doing something every year with 105.3 because I listen to the station. That's where when I crank my car up, that's what's playing. So I don't have to worry about changing the station. And so I love that too. But yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. It's a lot of plates, in my lap. And so for me to take it on the road, to answer your question, would be possible, but you
may need to hire yourself a band manager if you're going to.
I know. Yeah, I'm going to have a crew of people to leapfrog that for me, and sure. I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. I get a lot of support here in town, but I also have to do a lot of running and jumping. So I would love to do maybe a sister city thing, do one here and then do one in Chicago. I mean, Charleston. But Chicago would be great too. But yeah, here in Charleston would be cool. Well, maybe next year. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. When you do tour, do you usually tour just by yourself mainly?
No, I'm always when I'm touring, I'm with a band. And,
okay.
Yeah, we jump in the van. I've got a bench seat in the back and two up front, and we just rotate who sleeps, who drives, and who co-pilots. And with that little system, you can go forever, just about. I've probably slept in the van as much as I have anywhere else. So that's for sure.
Well, that's exciting for Savannah that they're going to get this exclusive opportunity to kind of see you, pay tribute to these three wonderful blues artists. I know I'm excited to check it out for sure.
Yes. Yeah, we are too. Definitely.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about, what was like, when did you first realize, hey, blues is really the type of genre that I really gravitate towards, that's what I really love?
That's a good question. When I first started playing out with a band, I was doing everything from David Bowie to Red Hot Chili Peppers, Lou Reed, and then I'd play a Muddy Waters, and then Jimi Hendrix, and then a B.B. King and a Freddy King and an Albert King and all that. And during the night, I was playing all kinds of different stuff. All the music that I loved, it was just good rock and roll because I'm a rock and roller at heart. That's where the energy comes from, and that's kind of what kind of channels me to put that energy into the blues. And but maybe the first 2 or 3 years I was playing, and then when I got a record deal with King Snake Records down in Florida, they were a blues label. So now I'm going to blues shows, blues festivals, and I'm not playing Lou Reed anymore. I'm playing, Sun Seals, Otis Rush, Muddy Waters, the Three Kings. So that's kind of when I got the record deal. That's kind of when I made the shift and just became a blues band. But I always had my one foot in the rock and roll. I always, my live shows, I was always going to do a Johnny Winter. I was always going to do a Hendrix. because I like the rock and roll, but not so far that you don't recognize the blues anymore. I'll always, keep that in. But all of that stuff I just mentioned is blues based anyway, so I can have fun with it, and still bring. But we do a lot of. It also helped me, to learn different styles of blues, and you got Texas swings and you got Chicago shuffles, and all of that hodgepodge. It makes for a really good time, and so it wasn't too much of a leap for me to just play blues, because I always had a good time playing all the different genres of blues. So it wasn't holding me down at all. I had much room to grow and much places to go musically.
Well, there would be no rock and roll if there was no blues, right?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, even some of the, greatest, most accomplished guitarists are, it's all born out of wanting to play the blues.
Yeah, true. Most of the people that even that don't play blues at all, you hear them on the radio, you go back far enough, they were probably in a blues band sometime.
So I saw that you have a couple of albums out. Is there any thought to going back into recording, especially with this Three Kings experience?
Yeah, I mean I have material that I'm wanting to record, new material, and none of it has to do with the Three Kings necessarily. But we do record the Three Kings, and we do have every year we have the show. But just for history's sake, I haven't tried to market it or anything. But that's on the table, So we may do that. But other than that, I have new material that I've been playing live with the band that we definitely want to record in the studio. Yeah, and I'm excited about that. Once I get through this, I can let the dust settle, and I believe we're going to go into the studio this year, sometime in the summer.
Will there be a taste of any of that stuff during the show, or is it strictly just stuff?
No, we're just doing stuff that BB, Freddy, and Albert were famous for playing.
Gotcha.
And some of the stuff that you may not have heard, but I call it's all killer, no filler. That's just what we're going to be doing.
I didn't know if you might try to sneak one in there.
Yeah, I think the first year I did play the title track off my second CD, No Rules to the Game, just to have an original song in there.
Right.
But so far we're not doing that. So we've got the set list nailed down, and we're ready to roll. There's not going to be any changes at this point.
Very cool. Well, what really drives you? What keeps you going after all these years? It's been what you said, over 30 years of playing and being on the road, and it's a rewarding lifestyle. I'm a fellow creative, so I know being creative, having that aspect, it is rewarding, but it can also be very grueling. The van life is not in life.
Hotel life, Motel 6 life.
Yeah. But what keeps you going? What drives you? What excites you?
I'll put it this way: it's not for everyone.
Right.
I survived it in a great way. I flourished in it. I loved it. I love to travel. I like to go to new places. I like to go to places I've been before. I like to just go and do. I like coming home. I like the whole process of it. I like the whole process of leaving and returning, and making coordinated efforts. Now, I became pretty good at it, and like I say, it's not for everyone. Some people just wouldn't want to hang in there, but I love doing it. You got to love doing it. All the guys that I'm playing with love doing it, and that's how you do it. And to me, it's not work. I work hard at it, but it's not what I would consider work, like digging a ditch or something, although I do like digging, I like digging in the dirt. So I like to work generally, and whatever it takes. I like to get busy and accomplish stuff. So, but going from town to town and breaking down on the road and having to deal with unexpected, obstacles and things like that is all a learning experience as well. So, but I just, and it was fun, and it still is. It hasn't worn thin with me at all. I love to play music, and I love the life, and I love the music that I play, and I love the people around me. So it works out great.
Does that, I mean, the whole experience, I'm sure, does it just further fuel your creativity? It's just more, fodder.
Yeah, there's more layers on the cake.
Yeah.
We definitely, it is definitely every year that goes by, I look back and I go, wow, this happened, and this would not have happened. This is wonderful. This would not have happened without playing music. Music brought this to me. Music did this. Music put me here, and I love that. And it's just it's so rewarding. And it's a positive thing. Everything has downsides. Nothing's perfect, but I'll take this. This is great. This comes natural to me, and I get to do it for a living. I couldn't be more happier.
Well, we'll start to wrap this up. What should a fan coming to you? What should they expect this coming? Is Thursday night, right?
Friday, May 2nd.
Yep.
What should they expect? They should expect a very memorable blues experience. You can go here and there, but what we're going to be bringing to the table, it would be the same thing you would get in Chicago or New Orleans, and in front of 20,000 people. We're going to bring that same show to Victory North on Friday night, and it's just it's a good blues experience. When you walk away from it, hopefully your life will be a little bit more richer, and you'll have a great memory and a great experience. Like I said, it's basically we're just throwing a party for ourselves, and it's going to be a great evening of live music, and supporting live music is so important, and it's a community thing. It's larger than life of what we're doing. So I would say, if you haven't got your tickets, come out and see it for yourself. It's going to be fantastic.
And you're going to have you're having legendary performers along with you, right? You said
that's right. That's right.
Gentlemen that have been playing for years, and they've played with amazing individuals. And they're amazing in their own right, of course.
Right. That's right. There's no getting around that, man. There's some real talent coming in town, man, and of course, my band is raring to go too. We just had a rehearsal last night, and when we all left, we were all smiles and high fiving, and we've got it down, man. It's really starting to come into view, and we're looking forward to it. Everyone I talked to on the phone, Tony, and Bob, and the guys in Atlanta, they're at the horn section. Everybody is just they all say the same thing. Man, we can't wait to play. We can't wait for this, and we're looking forward to it. And then they'll say it again, in the same conversation. So everybody is really. I think this is probably going to be the best one yet. Not to knock all the other ones. We had Chuck Lavelle, played 2 years ago with us when they when he wasn't touring with the Rolling Stones when they were recording that new album. So he made it, and that was like I say, that's one of those wow moments. Like, you don't see that happen, and then it happens. You know, somebody would have told me that 6 months before it happened, I would have gone, I doubt it. And then, you know, you look back and you go, that was amazing. And the shows have been amazing. Victory North the facility is amazing. It's just top notch. It really is. It's a top notch place to play in Savannah. And that's another thing that you can look forward to, is that you know that you're going to be in a great venue that sounds amazing. And there's not a bad seat in the house.
No, I've been there. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great place to do a show, for sure.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, terrific. Well, thank you so much for your time, Eric.
I appreciate your time.
It. And, you know, we hope to have you back on here.
Yeah.
We're just starting out with this kind of stuff, so hopefully we'll be doing a lot more of it. And,
right on.
And
keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, man. I appreciate your time and you know, and doing this. Yeah. It was a nice idea.
Well, we can't wait to see you Friday night.
Right on, man. Looking forward to it too.
Yes, sir. All right. You have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.